Scream is one of the greatest horror franchises of all time. It reinvented slashers, it made horror self aware, and it gave us one of the most iconic killers in cinema history.
Hello?
And somehow, it's also kind of a mess. We're talking about a franchise that has crossed over $1 billion worldwide, something that franchises like A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Halloween haven't even done. But beneath all of that success, plot holes, continuity chaos, characters basically having superpowers, and yeah, we've all tried to fix it. And you Stew Truthers know what I'm talking about. So today, we are breaking down 5 reasons Scream is the best of the worst horror franchises. Hey everybody, it's Dave from Nerdbox, and thank you for joining me for another episode of the Pop 5, where today we're going to go over why this franchise is the best of the worst. And as we're going along, don't forget to drop a comment and let me know what your thoughts are, and drop a like on this video. Now, I've taken a little bit of a break from YouTube, but I've been working on the Scream board game, and we'll cover that at the end. Now let's get to the list. Now let's start off with something that you can't unsee once you see it. Ghostface doesn't match any of the killers. And this became painfully obvious with Scream 2022. You've got the Ghostface attack in the kitchen where they tower over Tara. Then the attack in the hospital. And then when the mask comes off, Amber, a teenager, played by Mikey Madsen, who is 5'3", yet the Ghostface in her scenes is clearly over 6 feet. And now, while us Stew Truthers can easily fix that problem with saying those attacks were not done by Amber, but by Stu himself, the real problem is that the stunt actor was not cast correctly. And this didn't start with Scream 2022. No. It started way before that. It actually started with Scream 4, with the casting of Dan Farewell as Ghostface, who was 6'1". Emma Roberts is 5'2", and Rory Culkin is 5'6". Well, yeah, I'm sure casting a smaller Ghostface may be a dead giveaway for who is actually under the mask. It would certainly be more realistic, and especially when it comes to these feats of strength that we've seen in the franchise. Like tossing Rebecca off the rooftop of a hospital in Scream 4, or overpowering Dewey and killing him in Scream 5, or how about that deadlifting of a 6-foot-plus built man and tossing him through a bookcase in Scream 6? But this isn't the only problem that Ghostface has in this franchise.
What are you saying? That I killed her?
It would certainly improve your high school Q.
Stu was with me last night, okay?
Yeah, it was.
Never trust the love interest. They seem sweet, caring, supportive, and then welcome to Act 3 where they're trying to rip your head off.
I was with Sam in Modesto when Tara was attacked.
And let me guess, you were just in the other room, conveniently unaccounted for when she was attacked at the hospital.
Ghostface doesn't just kill, he teleports. Now hear me out, let's break this down. In Scream 1996, we see Ghostface watching Sydney from the bushes while he stalks her and Tatum. But Billy and Stu, meanwhile, are at the video store. So who was that? Roman? Of course, but at the time, Roman wasn't even an idea. And in Scream 3, Ghostface chases Sydney into her house on the set of Stab 3. Then another bursts out of the closet behind her. Then there is 2 Ghostface clearly stalking everyone at the mansion. Now in Scream 4, Jill is supposedly the only Ghostface who is attacking her mother and Sydney at her house. But there's a little bit of a continuity error here, because when Sydney goes to flee the back of the house, we see Ghostface in the wind chimes, causing Sydney and Jill's mom to run back through the house to the front door. And somehow, miraculously, we're supposed to believe that Jill ran completely around the house and beat them to the front door. Then there's the opener to Scream 5, where somehow Ghostface gets in the house while Tara's trying to set the alarm. I mean, there's like seconds in between her setting the alarm and it going off. And then nearly every single Ghostface scene in Scream 6 doesn't add up because Detective Bailey, Quinn, Ethan can be accounted for every time that they're on screen and when there's a Ghostface attack. Then, of course, we have the phone calls in part 3 and part 4 where there's a Ghostface in the same room as his target, but that person can't hear Ghostface talking to them on the phone in the same room. How is that possible? And at this point, Ghostface isn't a person, he's a glitch in reality. Now let's talk about the one thing people are really starting to complain about now, and that is survival or impossible survival. Now, during the first 4 films of the franchise, we always kind of just turned the blind eye to how the human pincushion Dewey always survived an attack. But then we start to jump the shark with our biggest offender, Chad Meeks Martin. In Scream 2022, Chad was stabbed multiple times, including one stab that looked like it hit an artery in his leg. Now, an artery leg bleed, particularly from the femoral artery, the main artery that's in the person's thigh, is a life-threatening emergency that can cause someone to actually bleed out and bleed to death within 2 to 5 minutes. And we know that he was on that ground a lot longer than 5 minutes. Then, of course, we saw what happened with him in Scream 6. Not to mention Ethan swallowing a knife in that finale and then miraculously getting up. Now, for those that don't know, a buck 120 knife that is being used in Scream 7 is 7 inches long and it's used for big game hunting. And that knife is described as being used for maximum damage. So when this knife is driven through someone repeatedly, it's likely going to come out the backside of them, especially some of the women that get stabbed. Now, Chad is not the only one surviving these attacks. We've seen Mindy survive, we've seen Gail survive the blade as well, and of course, there's always the miraculous survival of the gunshots that several people have taken during the franchise.
Hang up on me and I'll cut through your neck until I feel bone. No, you listen, you little bitch. You hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish, understand? If you hang up on me, you'll die just like your mother. But if you want to be in the hospital, I'd be happy to put you there. In the morgue. Who played the dumb bitch at the beginning of Stab 1 who answers the phone and gets carved up by the killer?
Fuck you.
The voice, the iconic Ghostface voice provided by the legendary voice actor Roger L. Jackson. But here is the issue with that. Why does every killer following Billy and Stu use that same exact voice? Now let's factor in that the reference point for every Stab film is Gail's books. And Gail did not talk to Ghostface until Scream 6. So how does the voice become standardized? How does every single killer that follows Billy and Stu have the exact modulation, the exact cadence, and the exact tone? Unless there was a shared system, a shared source, maybe a cult that we've all been screaming about. And this doesn't work without that cult being in the films. And that is our number 1 issue on the list. This is the one, the theory, the obsession, the one thing that can fix everything, every plot hole, every continuity error, and it hasn't yet, and that is Stu Macher. Ever since Matthew Lillard revealed that he was supposed to return in Scream 3, fans have gone rabid looking for any clue hinting that he is lurking in the shadows of each film.
I'd love to come back.
You got killed.
Well, the funny thing is, I was
Right?
supposed to come back for the third one. Nobody knows this, but
All right.
the third one.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Big deal here on Bob's podcast. The third one, they had written in me to be the killer in the third one.
Now, how is that going to be justified? Because you were
I only
killed
took
at
a
the end of
TV
first,
on
right?
the head.
What?
I took a TV on
Is
the
that what it
head.
was?
That's how I died.
So
the
theoretically,
idea was
you could have been.
from jail. I was masterminding this kind of this attack against Sidney, Nev's character.
Us obsessed fans, we have gone back through every single film, dissecting every single plot hole, every continuity error, theorizing how those mistakes all add up and point to one person, and that is that Stu Macher is alive and has been an accomplice in every single film. And that's something that we cover here on the channel in the Stu's Clues videos. Now, there is 6 of them done, so if you want a part 7 for me to cover all the Stu's Clues in the latest film, let me know by dropping that in the comments. Now, Radio Silence saw this as an opportunity and played into it with Easter eggs in Scream 5 and 6. And now here we are, 7 films deep, and not only do we not have Stu back, because apparently he's an AI in Scream 7, but we also do not have a cult that was originally supposed to be run by Stu, or at least in his memory. And in part 7, Stu's AI return fell flat. No one cheered, no one clapped in any of the showings that I saw Scream 7 in, because it wasn't earned. It wasn't built properly. It just wasn't right. And here is the harsh truth when it comes to Scream. Fixing Scream requires more than just writing. It requires obsession. The kind of obsession that us fans have. The kind where we have tracked every single timeline, we've rewatched the series multiple times, we've connected all of the impossible dots that are out there to connect and have it make sense. Because if Stu ever truly comes back, it has to make sense, or it just breaks everything in this entire franchise. Now, this is something that has been done before, and most recently with Alien Earth and the Predator series, where we have 2 dedicated filmmakers that are going back and are connecting every single detail, not only from the previous films, but from video games and comic books. And it's not done to the point where you need to have the homework. It's out there for those diehard fans to say, yeah, that makes sense. And that just seems to be the paradox that Scream is in. It's brilliant, it's iconic, and it changed horror forever. And yet, it might be one of the most, no, it might not be. It is the most inconsistent franchise that we have seen, because the writers that are writing each part, they're going in not with the intention of building upon the foundation that is there for Stu Macher to return, and not recognizing that there are plot holes when it comes to the size of Ghostface, his voice, who he's talked to, when he strikes, and that he can't just show up in different places at the same time. But then again, maybe that's why we love this franchise so much, because we can take apart this franchise unlike any other franchise that's out there. There's no debates about Halloween. There's no debates about A Nightmare on Elm Street. There's no debates about Child's Play. There are debates about Terrifier, but once we get that origin, I think those will die. Because at the end of the day, when it doesn't make sense, we want it to. And you know what? When Scream 8 drops, I will be there on opening day. So let me know what you think. Love it or hate it, is this the best of the worst horror franchises out there? Because like I said, so many plot holes, and no Stu Macher occult return just kind of spoils everything that we've all kind of dreamt about and built as a fan base. Now, before you go, don't forget to drop a like on this video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. Before we do go, if you've been wondering where I've been, I took a little bit of a break because I have to work on the Stream board game. And here's a little bit of a preview of what that is. So here's our Game Found site. Go ahead and check that out. We're making our campaign launch the last weekend of May at the New Jersey HorrorCon, where we're going to debut 2 brand new players, Player 5 and Player 6, who I can't really tease here. But this is the board game that is going to bring you the closest to our horror movie. It has a final girl, it has a final participant, it has a real slasher chase scene in there. It has stakes that matter. Just like the movie Stream, you can bet on it. So once again, thank you for tuning in for this episode of the Pot 5. We'll have some new episodes of different things coming out very soon. And as always, see ya.